Why hello there, citizens of the Breakfire Alliance. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector, Ashes of the Domain. Episode 66, the final episode. We are the spark of the new domain. And then there's the Alpha site over yonder. A disposable navigation satellite sent to the decaying orbit identifies the radiation-ravaged rock below as Alpha Site. A scan of the surface reveals an expansive research facility spilling out of a mid-sized crater. The shield array apparently failed spectacularly some time ago, leaving the ruins awash in heavy radiation. Any material salvage operation would be unprofitable. However, you might be able to send a salvage team down for a short period of time to see if any intel can be found about the purpose of this facility. Someone clearly put a lot of resources towards building it in a most inhospitable environment, far from prying eyes. Someone with something valuable to hide. After extensive preparation and reiteration of the hazard pay policy, a volunteer salvor team is sent down in a heavily shielded shuttle. They land near what appears to be the main entrance and reports ingress to the facility without difficulty. On a display projected into your flagship's bridge, you watch as a hard-suited salvor brushes past the clouded over sensor unit of a defense turret. It collapses into itself into a mere touch. Anything exposed to the merciless sky is slowly crumbled on chemical level. It appears that all groundside security systems have been destroyed by radiation. The interior of the facility has been breached, leaving it unpressurized. While its structure bulks provide some protection, the delicate computer systems are fried beyond repair. No data is recoverable. With no chance of an easy find, the team spreads out for the remaining rad-safe duration to document the facility and see anything useful can be inferred from the ruin. While exploring, one salvor enters the quarters of a high-ranking member of the facility staff and discovers a journal, a physical book bound in natural materials of its presumably deceased occupant, recovered Alpha Site journal. You examine the journal in the quarantine bay and find leather covers discolored, and but you can make out the embossed gold leaf tritachyon logo. Your salvage team has already scanned the text without opening the delicate pages of the book. The data has been placed in a secure cache for your review. Scrolling through the virtual pages, you find the journal appears to hold private thoughts of the chief technology officer of this facility. It begins with the vague complaints of being ordered to disregard safety protocols during tests and frustration with the demands made by Colonies Australia, or however you say that. From what you understand, this is the effort to establish a hard copy trail in case of the blame shifting and record altering, which is common practice for high-ranking Tritachia on office executives involved in failed projects. Concerned about going outside feature prominently in the entries, understandably given the surface conditions, but the increasingly intense obsessiveness of the writing seems to reflect a growing phobia on the part of the author. The remainder of the journal is difficult to read. Most of the pages are torn or defaced, leaving a patchy, noisy scan in your display. Little of what is readable is coherent. At the very end, there's one line written in a clear, strong hand. They sing to me, everything will be alright. Yeah, that seems normal. After expensive... Is this the same? Yeah, this is the same. Alright. The project Guardian's Awakening is now finished. And... yeah, okay. Cool. Well, I don't really have the crew to crew up the people that I've got on the ship right now. But, let's see. Nick the Good, I'm gonna scuttle you, because you're now a planet. Alright, let's make a quick pit stop to Salamanca for crew. And then we can start to use the experimental ship. Although it seems like I need to save and exit. Game's starting to chug. So, really bright orange colors are ahead, FYI. Just letting you know. Once this... Yeah. We're definitely at the deep chug level of the game performance. Super garbage collection. I thought I had enough excess crew, but the losses that we took exceeded what I could replace. That's not the only thing that you can get out of that system. Minor spoiler. I just didn't want my ships to, like, fall apart. So I'll head back there in a minute. After I drop off my some of my fleet. Okay. So you guys wanted me to use experimental stuff. So without further ado, we're gonna put Kadath away. Put all of these excess ships away. Take the new flagship. And I'm gonna keep the Hamatsu on. Refits. So there's a large energy hardpoint. And I'm going to put in... the volatile particle drivers. These are experimental weapons that you cannot make. That are one-offs. Medium turrets. Let's do... Resonators on the side. Actually, I could do all resonators. I don't think that's going to be effective. And then for the small synergies, we'll do the shock repeaters. And then here, we'll do rift lances. And these are all like experimental weapons that you find through special means. Alright, weapon groups. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, weapon groups are already kind of right. As far as build-ins, dedicated targeting core, probably build in. Although, the other things that we want to add to this ship are, so it is a phase ship. So if you want to be deployed for a while, there's also the, if you want to move around a lot, there's the unstable injectors. There's a bunch of different ways to build these things. I just wanted to like bring them out of dry dock so you can see them for a brief moment. What is my ship speed here? So I do bring tugs around with me. But my burn is only 18. I think I'm going to be okay with that and not put in the AUG drives. So the adaptive fave coils allow for the phase ships to be a little bit more stable. But it does reduce the top speed. Which I don't actually see that to be the case. What are some of the other phase ship modifiers? Phase anchors, which is really nice. Reduces the phase cloak activation to 0. And greatly increases the dissipation rate. So maybe what I'll do is I'll build in the targeting core. And then try to get capacitors or something. I don't really know. So if, I will eventually be able to cleanse the hull mods, but if we run a simulation against, let's say, I'm really bad at FYI piloting these things. We've run a simulation against, let's say, a Paragon. Instead of shields, it's phase. Oops. Trying to EMP the crap out of it. As you can see, it just EMP harasses everything until it, like, absolutely annihilates it to nothing. So if you can control this thing, it becomes a true and honest menace on the battlefield. I will say the missile launchers that I chose for this are probably less effective than what it could be. But I've shut down this Paragon to the point where, like, it couldn't even fight me. Right? Like, it was just stuck getting, like, just blasted by me. So, what are some of the other experimental weapons that I have on hand? Because what I can do is I can carry them around with me so that I can hot swap them in to show you the various special weapons that are all sort of like one-off and unique-ish. So I'm grabbing those that are these? No. Alright, so these are the, like, sort of special, unique weapons. A design type unknown, design type unknown, design type unknown. Yeah, any design types unknown you can assume are unique. Whereas, like, if you mouse over, you can see design type common, or... yeah, basically they're going to read common everywhere else. So, I have a bunch of these unknown weapons, and we can also aim to collect them. So there's like a finite list of these unknown weapons. Let me try to find the list. I have it bookmarked somewhere. Give me one moment. But the TLDR is that there is, at game, when you generate a universe, there's like a sort of a finite number of these unique, rare weapons that exist in your galaxy. So they're not weapons that you can necessarily have, you can't outfit an entire fleet with them, right? You're really only going to be able to outfit like a ship or two. And the advantage of them is they're very rare, and a lot of them have very strange properties, so that they can be used to completely dominate your opponents if used well. And I'm prefacing that I don't necessarily use them well. One of the reasons why I haven't been using them up until this point is, I will say, in my opinion, some of the weapons are just so OP that they give the player that has control over them, like, just an unruly amount of advantage over the opponents, making most of the fights sort of obsolete when the ships are controlled properly. All right, what I wanted to do is go back to the Alpha Site sector, and look for some more experimental weapons, because I don't have one of, like, each. And also, let's refit for fewer of the missiles and more... so this is medium, more, let's say, cryoblasters? Let's do cryoblasters and disintegrators. Yeah, let's try that. would say it's similar to like trying to pilot a Doom, where Dooms, I mean, it's not exactly like a Doom, but Dooms are phase ships that like do incredible amounts of burst damage, and in that way they're Doom-ish, similar-ish to Dooms. I think you guys see where I'm going with this. Where is that spot again? There it is. I'm asking for a spoiler. What direction is the... I know it's in one cardinal direction, but I forget which direction the gear package is. Northeast? Okay, I went exactly the wrong direction. Going off my memory is unreliable. But there's finite opportunities to get these sorts of weapons. But when you know where they all are, if you like beeline them. And also if you're wondering, again, another spoiler, that following the Academy questline will lead you here. You don't need to like just magically know the coordinates. You'll be led here through the questline eventually. I just knew that it was here, so I came straight here. So I didn't have to do the prerequisite quests. And that's true of like a lot of the game. So here's a heavily shielded crate with some automated defenses, and I don't know how well I'll manage on my own, but I'll try fighting the crate fleet by myself. Yeah, I've been taking too much front damage, and it managed to knock my weapons out. So we got, oh no, that's not the experimental weapons. Abort that. I don't even want these weapons. I'm only going to take experimental weapons from here on out, so as to not confuse myself. So here we go. We got a cryo blaster, a disintegrator, shock repeaters, antimatter SRMs. Oh, those are unknown. I was right about that in Rift Lances. And this is the lovely advantage of experimental weapons. The last thing is delivering the Hamatsu, or whatever it's called, to the Academy. So I'll just take the slow way over to the Academy and be like, hey, we found this ship. What were you doing? And a lot of the colonies that we've got going on are finally getting their like significant upgrades that we had queued up done. It's like blast processing units and all that. I think King Glass, I'll put the civilian heavy production instead of Nick the Good. We're not moving at max speed. In fact, not that I have a lot of time left, but Where's the ox tugs? I'm pretty sure I can make them, right? Maybe I can't. Huh. What I was trying to do is turn over the ship, but I think I might need to... Oh, I talked to the wrong person. No, because Callista's not... Yeah, I would need to, dig through a whole bunch of the... Yeah, I haven't met her yet, and she's not going to be someone I can meet, anytime soon. So, I'm not going to bother doing that. With the remaining time I have, let's go to Olgan. And look for trouble. Mess around in our brand new experimental ship, which is slowly getting recovered. Yeah, the Hamatsu here is not a special ship, it's just a ship that they want. That someone that I haven't met yet, because I did everything out of order, will want to have recovered, which is kind of funny. Taking a look at the rest of the colonies. Consumer industry. So with consumer industry installed, I should now, at this point, be... Yep, top of the food chain. But and I think that makes me top of every industry. More than 50% of the market share for every single industry that exists in the galaxy. So, you know, I won the economic victory, I guess. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point. It's weird not being a paragon, I must say. Doesn't feel quite right. Nice. Phase coil instability fixed on the Xenorphica. Now it just has faulty armor and faulty subsystems. Wow, and it took a hell of a lot of damage from the storms. So this is found a derelict ship some distance away from center. Obnoxious. I hate those. Oh, this is the archive. Well, more ruins without, Ooh, an inactive gate. More ruins without, you know, a biofactory embryo. No surprise there. Instead of avoiding these fights, I'm going to do emergency repairs on my main ship and do some engaging. So as I mentioned, I suck at controlling these things, but, like, I'll do my best because you guys want to see them in action. I do love the little, like, moat drone things that are out spamming the enemy full of, full attacks. Where's their fleet? I wanted to kill some apexes. Oh, here they go. Don't hide from me. Disgusting. And when you're phased, like, time slows down, so it gives you even better time to react than you would otherwise normally would have. Come on, moats. Go! So if you may have not noticed, the moat attractor sends the, like, passive little moat drones, if you will, out to go specifically target an enemy. So you kind of have, like, a swarm of, like, murder bots ready to be directed towards an enemy. Oh, I also took a bunch of weapons I didn't intend to take to not get confused with the experimental ones. My bad. So we'll dump them. There is a nexus in the system. But, I'm gonna try to get to the gate. Wouldn't mind doing some more survey, though. So what do you guys think? Do you like the ziggurat? The Ziggy, as I like to call it? It's a pretty neat ship for what it does. What's my... Oh, my ship is super damaged. I was gonna fight this Ordo, but given my current ship damage, I opt to evade. Phase ships are a little sensitive, for lack of... Oh, God. For lack of a better term. So... they can be hard to deal with in sustained combat, where you're not getting breaks. It looks really powerful, but not outright OP. It's because I don't really control it all that effectively. It is outright OP. The same is probably true for the Doom too. If you're a really good Doom pilot, that thing is disgusting. Why am I not? What's... Man, my CR gain sucks. Yeah, I don't control it well because I don't use it very often. It comes non-standard, and I generally prefer the challenge. Its real detractor, I would say, is the deployment point cost. It is an expensive ship to put into service. So we didn't end up getting the tack lance. I didn't know where it was, but I did want to try to do some surveys. There we go. Automated, faulty automated systems. That should help with the recovery rate, I think. So what is the... not really. Alright, oh no, not all the planets. The ice giant isn't surveyed. Still don't know where that blueprint is. Probably around the ice giant, around the derelict ships that are there. That would be my conjecture. That's the case. Let's fight some of these fleets. I don't like having such massively degraded performance as a phase ship, but you know, that's one of those things that like tune-ups and build-ins and I'm missing one of the talent points which particularly benefits phase ships, I think. So there's some things I could do to obviously make this ship better. I just hadn't made those choices because I hadn't realized I'd be using a phase ship until about 20 minutes ago. Rip. It does blow things up real nice though, doesn't it? With my loadout, I have to get pretty close though. Besides the moats. Will it keep this ship or is it just a phase? Both. Now, a real test would be blowing up a Radiant or a Nova. But those Nova's been pressured way too much by my other ships, so it's not worth killing. Haha! All the moats just dumped on that Brilliant. It was ready for it, but still. I think probably the best design for this thing would be like a super fast mover, which is not how I designed. Oh god, which is not how I designed it. Get moted and get killed. Nova and a subordo. I was going to try to get that one survey done, but these fleets really want to stop me. There is a research station here. Blueprints for a Sarissa wing, so a new blueprint that I haven't found before. And then I picked up some weapons I didn't intend to take. Because I really only want experimental weapons right now, not to confuse them all. God, look at all these caches. Really? You're gonna attack me? Okay. I am not putting my Xenorphica in battle this time because I don't have enough combat readiness. It would just like fall apart. So I'll take the Pegasus and hope that the weapon. Oh god, the weapon groups are so stupid. Oh my god. Yeah, this ship was never intended for human piloting. Well, I just killed already. I do have a soft spot for the absolute murder power of a good Pegasus with its like missile rack system expertise reset. It can be a delicious thing. Because the AI really does not use missiles wisely, given that they're kind of a finite resource and they can be wasted very easily. Let's put that in the hands of the player and it becomes pretty disgusting. Oh, look at the amount of debris fields here. I'm out of here. Bye-bye, Ordo. And, the talent points I was referring to is, phase coil tuning. So, added peak time, operating phase ships, top speed, operating phase cloak, sensor for phase ships, and then, you know, it's just not something I have. But I feel like I've at least shown you a little bit of what the phase ship can do, and, I have run myself out of time. Pretending that we didn't lose Nick the Good and our Stella Manufactorum with the Turing engine, because in my headcanon, that never happened, because it was just like a haha, screw you and your goals type of event. This is where this series is going to end. Having essentially dominated the entire galaxy, being the military might, the economic might, and the research might, compared to everyone else, and reigniting the sort of spark of the domain era technology. Thank you for tuning in to Starsector, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind the series has since ended. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow captains.